Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Links are in the description below. Please show some love of the author and me. On to the show. Su Lin has also been among the wolves for 2 months. Have a general understanding of the composition of wolf packs. As the alpha wolf, Father Wolf has unique authority in the wolf pack, and no one can resist his orders. If Su Lin wanted to resist, he could only challenge Father Wolf and defeat him. With his current strength, Su Lin does have a high chance of defeating Father Wolf. But he didn't do that. Because Father Wolf, as the chief wolf, needs majesty if he wants to lead the pack of wolves. Once defeated by himself, it is likely to lose its majesty and cannot control the rest of the wolf clan. In the current pack of wolves, apart from the wolf father and mother, and the mother of the cousin, the rest of the Arctic wolves had just joined, and they don't have a strong sense of belonging. This made Su Lin plan to go out in the afternoon when Father Wolf and the others were sleeping. He lay down on the rock again, and began to close his eyes and meditate. Xiao Hui lay beside him, and followed Su Lin to sleep. Today's Xiao Hui has become Su Lin's loyal younger brother. The wolf girl who was used to sleeping with Su Lin was also sleeping soundly in the arms of the wolf mother. It seems that the embrace of the wolf mother is more comfortable. Next, time flickered to the afternoon. In order to save energy, the wolf father and the others also fell asleep on their stomachs. Su Lin got up quietly and walked out of the cave. Today, he has gradually adapted to the ice and snow of the Arctic continent. He planned to come out by himself. But looking back, Xiao Hui also followed. Xiao Hui's attributes have also improved in the past few days. It's about to reach level 3 attributes. So Su Lin didn't force it to go back. Ah! With a low howl, the two wolves set off. Today the weather is gray and the visibility is not high. This is also the reason why Father Wolf gave up hunting. But Su Lin has no plans to give up halfway. He is still 5 points away from evolution, and he can upgrade. Stimulated by this temptation, he began to quickly search for prey that could be hunted nearby. Soon, I saw a nest of Arctic rabbits. Arctic hares are relatively common in the Arctic continent. They feed on moss, plants, and tree roots, and have a strong ability to survive. Now at Su Lin's speed, hunting the Arctic hare was easy. But he didn't move. The evolutionary value that the Arctic rabbit can currently provide him is very small. Unless you are really hungry, you don't bother to hunt them down. It was Xiao Hui behind him who howled and asked Su Lin for instructions. Su Lin agreed and let him hunt freely. Xiao Hui immediately ran towards the Arctic rabbit happily. There is no wolf clan to teach it hunting skills, and there is no such wisdom as Surin, so Little Gray can only go on a rampage. The speed of the Arctic hare is very fast. Hearing is also very sensitive. Before Xiao Hui came to him, a nest of Arctic rabbits noticed it. Soon they scattered and fled. Let Xiao Hui go blank. Ah, this made it unbearable to stay where it was, howling angrily. Su Lin couldn't help shaking his head, and he walked over slowly. Snapped. He slapped Xiao Hui, causing his head to shake from side to side. The penalty for a failed hunt. Next, Su Lin took it and taught it what it means to crawl forward and what it means to hide its body. Xiao Hui was studying very seriously, and began to practice repeatedly on shrubs and grass. While Su Lin was carrying it, he was also searching for prey. But just when he searched a lot of places and found no valuable prey, the sixth sense from animals made his wolf fur explode. Then a wolf claw ruthlessly pressed Xiao Hui into the bushes, making it unable to move at all. He also hid the wolf's body well in the bushes. His pair of light blue wolf eyes looked not far away. Sure enough, within a few seconds, a bulky grizzly bear with a full 2 meters in size came out of the bushes beside it. It can be seen that this grizzly bear is probably looking for food here. The grizzly bear pulled off some small grains of fruit from the bushes and stuffed them into its mouth. Grizzly's recipe is very mixed. Plant roots, fruits, forages, grains, as well as animals, insects, fish and even carrion can all be its food. and the Arctic wolf can naturally become its food. The current Arctic continent is poor in food, and this grizzly bear can do anything for food. Species, grizzly bear, male. Level 11. Chi and blood, 1859. Stamina, 125. Strength, 113. Defense, 119. Speed, 43. The attribute value of the grizzly bear appeared in front of Su Lin. This property is very scary. The current Su Lin must be able to run away. But Xiao Hui couldn't escape. No matter how bulky and slow the grizzly bear is, it is still very easy to catch up to Xiao Hui, a cub who is less than half a year old. So he directly pressed the little gray tightly, so that the grizzly bear could not find out. Otherwise, with this grizzly bear, it would be a 3-digit panel at every turn. When Su Lin wanted to save Xiao Hui, there was nothing he could do. Fortunately, the grizzly bear didn't even notice the two wolves, not far away. Always busy eating the fruit and young leaves of the shrub. After eating a few nearby bushes, he slowly left. Seeing the grizzly bear after leaving, Su Lin was relieved, and let Xiao Hui go. Xiao Hui was lying on the bushes and grass, and she was very obedient and didn't howl. After being let go, he gratefully licked Su Lin's paw. Snapped. Su Lin slapped Xiao Hui's head again with his paw. He doesn't like being licked by wolves. However, encountering this grizzly bear by chance today also made Su Lin's desire to upgrade and evolve stronger. One day in the future, he will eventually become the strongest hunter in this Arctic continent, bar none. Even the big overlords such as grizzly bears and polar bears will appear on his recipes. Ah! Su Lin let out a low howl, and continued to search for prey with Xiao Hui. Although there is a lack of food in the white Arctic continent, there are still many discoveries to be made if you search carefully. Along the way, I met a herd of moose, which was strong. There are also 2 male moose with sharp antlers and high attributes, 2 levels higher than the eaten female moose. So Su Lin just looked at them and ignored them. I came across a few Arctic silver foxes, but the Arctic silver foxes were very cautious, and Su Lin had no chance to do anything. Finally, heaven pays off. Under Su Lin and Xiao Hui's unremitting efforts to search, a single female musk ox appeared in front of them. This female musk ox should be a juvenile, relatively thin, only 1.5 meters long. Long brown hair hangs over the body, and the horns on the head are separated from each other. The pupils in the bull's eyes are purple-blue, which looks very beautiful. Species, musk ox, female. Level 6. Vitality, 1058. Stamina, 78. Strength, 53. Defense, 51. Speed, 39. Looking at the numerical attributes of the musk ox in front of him, level 6 musk ox. Give it a go. Su Lin let out a long breath, and slowly revealed his sharp wolf teeth, and his eyes also shone with the ferocity unique to hunters. Su Lin signaled Xiao Hui to lie down in the bushes and not move. After all, when hunting such large prey as the musk ox, Xiao Hui couldn't help at all. Only by himself. This musk ox, even if it is not fully grown, is more than 1 meter long and weighs 400 to 500 catties. This weight is several times that of the current Su Lin. Therefore, it would definitely be uncomfortable if you were pushed on by the bull's horns. But he didn't back down. A pair of light blue wolf eyes revealed bloodthirsty ferocity. Give it a go. Puff, poof, Su Lin kept crawling slowly in the snow. The 4 wolf paws made a slight sound in the thick ice and snow. However, this slight sound did not bother the musk ox grazing the shrubs and grass on the ground at all. The musk ox broke away from the herd. It lowered its head to eat shrubs and grass for a while, and looked around for a while, with a pair of purple-blue bull's eyes showing a trace of anxiety. It wants to find the herd, but its sense of smell is not sensitive, and it can't smell the scent traces left by the herd at all. This made it scramble around like a headless chicken in its anxious search. In the end, a lot of physical energy was wasted, so I had to eat some shrubs and grasses here to replenish energy. Its mother taught it how to find food, how to run, and how to protect itself, but it did not teach it how to find large groups. Now it is alone, in this vast Arctic continent, it feels very insecure. And this anxious musk ox didn't know that danger was approaching quietly. However, this scene at this time happened to be caught by the explorer Tiffany in a gray off-road vehicle not far away. Tiffany is from the city of Norilsk, Russia. She is not only an explorer, but also a researcher of wild animals. This year's academic paper is about the strange creatures in the Arctic ice sheet. Tiffany was 23 and very beautiful. Red lips, beautiful long golden hair draped over her shoulders, and a pair of golden eyes shone with surprise. In the past few days, in order to truly record the activities of various creatures in the Arctic after the snowstorm, she has been shooting in this icy Arctic. To relieve boredom these days, she also turned on her live broadcast on Facebook. Although the shooting process is very boring, but there are netizens who also love wild animals in the live broadcast room, and they are still very happy. But now, she looked at the Arctic wolf not far away that was about to hunt a lone musk ox, and she faintly felt that it was the one she had seen some time ago. His white and flawless hair is very impressive. But the lone wolf who was still hunting Arctic hares now has the guts to hunt musk ox alone. Oh my god. This is insane. Tiffany's little white hands couldn't help covering her mouth with a surprised expression. At this time, there were more and more comments in the live broadcast room on the mobile phone. Facebook regular user, Scotty, is this Arctic wolf going to hunt musk ox alone? Oh my god. Impossible. This unscientific. Facebook wildlife lover, Sure Sifu, from the perspective of survival, nothing is impossible. Wolves can do anything when they are extremely hungry. Of course, humans can do the same. Facebook ordinary member Otalu, what are you talking about? This Arctic wolf has shiny fur and a vigorous body. Where is there a trace of hunger? This is obviously an overreaching provocation. Facebook ordinary member AI Nation, you can't say that. Please let us quietly watch this hunting with a huge difference in size and weight. This musk ox is small in size. If the Arctic wolf has enough hunting experience and physical strength, there is still hope. Facebook biologist Wen Luofu, wolves are natural hunters, cunning and ferocious, and will never engage in boring provocations. According to the real records, the most powerful wolf family can hunt large prey alone, especially the lone wolf. They are more ferocious and than the wolf clan living in packs. After the rapid increase of comments in the live broadcast room, the popularity of the live broadcast room has also risen. Some netizens from various countries on Facebook also clicked in. Tiffany, on the other hand, looked nervously at the Arctic wolf who was less than 5 or 6 meters away from the musk ox. I was a little worried about this Arctic wolf in my heart. If you are not careful, and you are slightly pushed by the horns, you may be seriously injured. In nature, a serious injury to a hunter is tantamount to death. At this time, just when Tiffany was nervous, the Arctic wolf hiding in the bushes moved. Move like thunder. The speed was so fast that only a white wolf shadow could be seen, accompanied by splashing snowflakes, galloping towards the musk ox that was gnawing on the shrubs and grass at an extremely fast speed. When the musk ox just raised its head and had no time to react, the white wolf shadow has already arrived. Boom! The extremely lethal claw slapped fiercely on the purple-blue eyes of the musk ox. Moo! The musk ox was in pain and began to growl. Seeing that the Arctic wolf really made a move, and hit the musk ox's vital eyes with one blow. This led to more comments from many netizens in the live broadcast room. As for Tiffany, he didn't even have time to watch the live broadcast, and he just kept his eyes on the hunting and killing in nature. Ah! At this moment, Su Lin's eyes were full of ferocious light. When he went out to hunt alone, he had long been prepared for a brutal fight. This musk ox is level 6, with thick blood and high resistance. But with his own speed, Su Lin has the capital to fight. That ruthless claw just now has driven the musk ox completely mad. The musk ox is a kind of cattle with a very brave personality. Even though it was a female musk ox, she screamed twice in pain, and ran towards Su Lin with her hooves stepping on the snow. Moo. The musk ox carries an indomitable flame. If you want to hunt it, you have to face its wildest and fiercest counterattack. The musk ox was panting heavily through its nose, and there were sore tears in its eyes. The eye that was hit even had a faint amount of blood flowing out. Musk ox run faster and faster in pain. The ice and snow of the North Pole are scattered in all directions under its trampling. There was a sharp cold light shining on the bull's horn. In an indomitable momentum, he slammed directly at Su Lin's wolf head. Although the wolf's skull is very hard, it is known as the tofu waist with copper head and iron bone. But if he was hit by the musk ox forcibly, even if he didn't die, his brain would be exhausted. Therefore, relying on the speed far exceeding that of the musk ox, Su Lin nimbly leaped sideways, dodging the angry attack of the musk ox. Moo. After hitting the air, the musk ox roared, turned around, stepped on the snow with its hooves, and adjusted its direction again. In the cognition of musk oxen, there is no such thing as fear and escape at all. They are the bravest fighters. The ice and snow were trampled under the hooves and splashed everywhere. And in Su Lin's wolf eyes, there was also a trace of ferocity, and he looked at the musk ox in the white Arctic continent. The wound on the musk ox's eye is interfering with its vision. Double images began to appear in its eyes, and even the injured eye was covered with blood, making it impossible to see clearly. Moo. Pain and vision interference made it unable to bear to roar again. It was this who hurt himself. The musk ox ran towards Surin again. With a weight of 400 to 500 caddies, plus the speed of running wildly, the impact brought by it is unparalleled. Ah! A loud and long wolf howl rang out. Surin stared at the musk ox that was running towards him. When he was about to approach him, his wolf body was slightly on one side, just like the heroic bullfighter in Spain. He perfectly escaped the brutal charge of the musk ox. When crossing the musk ox, he stretched out his wolf claws and hit the musk ox's neck fiercely. The sharp wolf claws, like blades, scratched several deep bloodstains on the neck of the musk ox. Moo. Moo. The musk ox, which was attacked again, has gone completely mad. Brake sharply and turn around, and savagely collide again. But when it hit Su Lin this time, it slowed down, waiting for Su Lin to dodge again. Get smarter. Su Lin didn't expect that the musk ox, which only has genetic instinct, would be flexible. But he still didn't hesitate and quickly dodged. And the musk ox also adjusted its direction slightly, and slammed into him fiercely. Ah! Su Lin didn't dodge anymore. He let out a long howl, and a trace of cruelty flashed in the wolf's eyes. With a leap, he jumped onto the back of the musk ox, biting off a piece of flesh and blood fiercely. But soon, under the crazy shaking of the musk ox, he was thrown off. As soon as it landed, the musk ox's broad hooves stomped hard. Depend on. Su Lin couldn't help cursing in his heart. How could he have thought that this musk ox is so crazy that it would even use its brain between life and death? After being trampled on, he rolled and avoided. But fortunately, the attack power of the trampling is still within the tolerance range. Su Lin shook the bones in his lower back, relieving the pain of being trampled on. Then he swallowed the meat he had just torn off. Ding! The host eats the musk ox and gains 5 evolutionary points. After devouring this piece of meat, Surin's evolution value finally reached 160 points. It's just 5 evolutionary points short. The goal of going out to hunt this time can be regarded as achieved. The joy of upgrading and evolution masks the pain in the back. The evolutionary power that all the cells in the whole body are cheering for has come again. This force is refining Su Lin's bones, skin, internal organs, and even blood. It makes his stamina, attack power, and resistance to attack all enhanced in all directions. Ding! Congratulations to the host for advancing to level 5. Name, Su Lin. Species, Arctic wolf. Level 5. Upgrading requires 320 evolution points. Vitality, 500. Stamina, 50. Strength, 50. Defense, 50. Speed, 90. Evolution value, 0. Extra attribute value, 10. Talent, hunting, D grade. The extra attributes are still assigned to the speed column. In heaven and earth, speed is king. After allocating now, Su Lin's speed has reached 100. This speed is terrifying. At present, in the entire Arctic continent, he has not seen any animal with a speed exceeding 100. With a speed of 100, it means that Su Lin can come and go freely in the entire North Pole. Even if there are large carnivores that cannot be beaten, at least escaping is not a problem. And now this musk ox. It's time to fix it once and for all. In Su Lin's light blue eyes, a ferocious look emerged again. The musk ox on the opposite side also noticed the change in Su Lin's momentum. Got stronger. But the musk ox still did not retreat. Moo. Finally, with a deep growl, he charged towards Su Lin again. Surin also showed his sharp fangs, and ran towards the musk ox. His current speed is very fast, reaching a speed of more than 20 meters or even 30 meters per second. Generally, an adult male Arctic wolf can gallop at no more than 10 meters per second at full speed. Now his speed is twice that of ordinary Arctic wolves. At such a speed, the musk ox, whose eyes had already been injured, could not see the shadow of Su Lin's wolf clearly. It only felt that a white shadow was entangled on the way to charge. Immediately afterwards, the sharp fangs pierced its throat fiercely. Pain, severe pain. Along with the pain is the blood that flows quickly. The musk ox wanted to roar again, but it could no longer make a full sound. Its throat was pierced by fangs. The musk ox began to shake its body wildly, trying to shake off the white shadow on its body. But it failed. This shadow, like an octopus in the deep sea, clung tightly to its body. It could feel the sharp claws, hooking the flesh tightly, and drawing wounds on the abdomen and neck. These wounds are draining its blood and its vitality. But the musk ox was still struggling crazily. It still has strength, and it can resist. A musk ox with thousands of blood points, even if it shed so much blood, still not dead, still in the final dying struggle. Not far away at this time, Tiffany in the off-road vehicle was almost stunned. She covered her rosy lips, her eyes full of shock. Just now she was still worried about this Arctic wolf hunting alone, whether it would be trampled by musk oxen. But in the blink of an eye, the situation is reversed. After a real fight, the musk ox, with only a pair of horns and broad hooves, is no match for the ferocious hunter. The sharp fangs and wolf claws are wantonly destroying the vitality of the musk ox. And Tiffany also felt that when the Arctic wolf really started to fight for its life, it seemed to be a circle bigger than it was at the beginning. But she was more, thinking it was her own hallucination. After all, she, who specializes in studying wild animals, naturally wouldn't believe in such unscientific things. At this time, she finally looked down at the Facebook live broadcast room on her phone. Now the number of people in the live broadcast room has soared to more than 3,000 people. Live streaming of wild animals has always been an unpopular category. Unexpectedly, this time it attracted so many viewers. In the past, there were only 20 or 30 people scattered in her live broadcast room. The current bullet screens in the live broadcast room are also swiping one after another. Facebook biologist Wen Luofu, beautiful. Wonderful wildlife. Facebook ordinary member AI Nishan, I have to say, this hunt is really a visual feast. The hunting wisdom and dodging skills of this white wolf are also breathtaking. Facebook ordinary member Otalu, sorry. I apologize for my previous remarks. The prey does not have enough flexible weapons, and it really cannot escape the end of being hunted. No. 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 It's not because of this, it's just that this white wolf is too powerful. Whether it's humans or animals, anyone who can survive alone in this world is a well-deserved powerhouse. There is a saying in ancient China that only cattle and sheep come in herds, and ferocious beasts only walk alone. And this white wolf is a ferocious beast. This is simply a perfect hunt. The duel with huge differences in size and weight, the final result exceeded everyone's expectations. Beautiful. The blogger will broadcast more live broadcasts of this white wolf in the future, and I have already followed you. Most of the bullet screens in the live broadcast room are also very amazing. There are also many netizens who pay attention to Tiffany. Looking at these bullet screens, Tiffany also smiled friendly, and replied in general, "Thank you for your likes. I am a researcher at the Crosby Federation College, and I will be broadcasting live in the Arctic Circle recently. This white wolf I will also pay attention to it." After Tiffany responded with a smile, there were more messages in the barrage in the live broadcast room asking her to follow and shoot the white wolf or to shoot the white wolf at close range. Regarding the news, she had no choice but to spread her hands and express that she was helpless and could not do it. After all, when shooting in the icy and snowy Arctic, the most important thing is to ensure your own safety. She is alone, without the backing of a team, it is difficult to follow and shoot. As for close-up shooting, you can try it if you have the opportunity. She also likes this handsome and fierce white wolf very much. If you can take a close-up shot, you will be very happy. She can even feel that the wisdom of this white wolf is much stronger than that of its kind. As a wildlife researcher, what Tiffany dreamed of was to find all kinds of intelligent animals. Originally, she planned to study primate orangutans, but after seeing this white wolf, she gave up this plan. Because of the wisdom of this white wolf, she was amazed. At the same time, I am very pleased that the content of the next academic paper has been settled. Ah! At this time, with a loud wolf howl, it sounded again over the vast and boundless Arctic continent. The hunting on the Arctic continent has finally come to an end. The dying musk ox gradually lost its luster in its purple-blue eyes. The musk ox, which was not yet fully grown, finally fell down after experiencing all-out confrontation with the hunter. With a weight of 400 to 500 caddies, he fell to the ground with a crash, splashing a lot of ice and snow. Its blood, scattered on the white snow and ice, looked very dazzling. Whoa! Whoa! At this time, Su Lin, looking at the musk ox that finally stopped moving, let go of his mouth, panting heavily. After letting go, several light gray message prompts popped up in front of Su Lin's eyes. Use the weak to overcome the strong. Breakthrough. Precise dodge. Final victory. Target dies. Combat rating, S. Rating for this battle, S. Get 10 potential potions and 3 evolution potions. Huh? There's even an S score this time? Su Lin was somewhat unexpected. But it also filled his eyes with a hint of surprise. At first, I thought that I would at least have to fight the lynx like last time, and only when both sides were bloodied could I get an S score. But now it seems that as long as there are enough bright spots in the battle, a good score can be obtained. In this battle evaluation, there is less fighting, and one more precise dodge. At the same time, the rating of S points also gave a lot of rewards. Ah! This made Surin a little excited. But after the excitement, he just shook the blood on his hair. In order to quickly resolve the battle, Surin bit the musk ox's throat. As the musk ox struggled, a lot of blood spattered all over his body. Next, he bit off a piece of flesh from the neck of the musk ox fiercely. Ding! The host eats the musk ox and gains 4.7 evolutionary points. The flesh and blood of the musk ox was eaten into the stomach and turned into billowing energy, which was converted into evolutionary value. Surin gained a lot from this hunt. After being promoted to level 5, his strength has improved by leaps and bounds again. In addition, the hunting talent was used as a trump card and was never used. Relying on his own strength alone, he killed the musk ox. Now Su Lin feels that if the hunting talent is activated, even a real adult musk ox, he can give it a go. Of course, it's just a gamble, and there is no absolute certainty of killing. At this time, Su Lin was not idle while thinking like this. It began to bite and swallow the flesh of the musk ox. The meat of the musk ox is very fresh, tender, and elastic, and tastes smooth and delicious. Even after biting off the flesh of the musk ox, you can still see that the meat is still shaking. This means that the nerve endings of flesh and blood are not dead, and will respond after being stimulated. When you eat it in your mouth, you can also feel the twitch. Fresh. Absolutely fresh. Even if he was from a good family in his previous life, he has never eaten such fresh wild beef. Of course, at that time, he would not eat such fresh meat. Ding. The host eats the musk ox and gains 4.4 evolutionary points. Ding. The host eats the musk ox and gains 4.1 evolutionary points. Ding. The host eats the musk ox and gains 3.8 evolutionary points. During the eating process, the evolution value is also increasing rapidly. After eating about 7 or 8 caddies of flesh and blood, Su Lin stopped eating when he was 6 to 7% full. 7 or 8 caddies of musk ox flesh provided him with more than 40 evolutionary points. However, upgrading from level 5 to level 6 requires 320 evolution points, which is still far behind. Future, the road to hunting and evolution is long and difficult. The Arctic is now in its cold season. The area covered by the polar night of the Arctic Circle has also become larger and larger over time. Although it has not covered the area where Su Lin is located, it is obviously that the night has become longer. It was already afternoon when Su Lin came out. After he finished eating, the sky was completely dark. And those light blue eyes also turned into a pair of eyes shining with green light at night. The wolf's eyes are exquisitely constructed. The special crystal point at the bottom of the eyes can gather the weak scattered light around at night, aggregate it into beams, and then reflect it concentratedly. Therefore, even though the sky was completely dark, Su Lin could still see clearly in the dark. It's just that pair of eyes that are shining with green light, so ordinary people can't help but feel a kind of terrifying fear. Not far from Tiffany in the off-road vehicle, at night as the temperature on the Arctic continent gets lower and lower, even with the warm air in the car, you can still feel the coolness coming in from the outside. In addition, the camera of the mobile phone can no longer support night shooting. So Xian quietly got into the car and prepared to leave. Netizens from various countries in the live broadcast room also told Tiffany to be careful on the road in a few words. The night on the Arctic continent is very deep, and Tiffany has never shot so late before. So looking at the dark night, there is also a trace of fear in my heart. Fortunately, there were bullet screens in 2s and 3s in the live broadcast room, which gave her a sense of security again. Humans are also social animals, and sometimes a few words from the same kind can quickly calm down the heart. But so, too, Tiffany thought, how strong and brave this Arctic wolf who dared to hunt alone in the vast Arctic continent should be. With this in mind, she glanced at the Arctic wolf in the distance, and then drove away. Night on the Arctic continent. Chee, chee. The sound of vehicles driving on the ice and snow not far away made Su Lin look over with a pair of faint green eyes. This off-road vehicle was about 100 meters away from him. He didn't move. Just quietly watching the off-road vehicle leave. Although the Arctic continent is covered with ice and snow, there are also some explorers or researchers. Nowadays, humans and animals mostly live in harmony. Many nature reserves have even been planned to protect the living environment of animals. Therefore, as long as it is not some vicious poachers, it is fine. Su Lin was a human being in his previous life, and he still retains a bit of kindness in his heart towards human beings. Ah. After watching the off-road vehicle leave, Su Lin held in a low voice and motioned for Shall We, who had been hiding in the bushes and grass, to eat. Shall We, who had been lying on the snow for 2 or 3 hours, was numb from the cold. After hearing Surin's call, he moved the wolf's body, and then came to the musk ox carcass and began to eat it. Howling while eating expresses awe of the heroic boss and excitement of being fed. And Su Lin found 2 round bushes from all around, and prepared to bring the hunted musk ox back to the cave by relying on the method of consigning the Arctic reindeer last time. One musk ox is enough to feed the entire wolf pack for several days. Although the wolves are fine if they don't eat for 10 days and half a month, but if there is enough food, I still think that I can eat enough every day. Especially the wolf girl, who is still in a period of rapid growth. Daily food is very important to her who is still in her infancy. Now Su Lin has been promoted to level 5, the power is also much greater than before. The speed reached nearly 30 meters per second, the slapping power of the wolf claws, the bite force of the wolf teeth, and the run-up attack power have all been significantly improved. The wolf's body also reached 1.6 meters, including the wolf's tail, and its body length exceeded 2 meters. With such a body shape, even if it is compared with the wolf father, it is not much different. After inspecting the surrounding area and seeing that there was no danger, he planned to leave with the musk ox he had hunted. And Xiaohui was still eating voraciously, his stomach visibly grew from eating. In the icy and snowy field, it is enough to eat 6 to 7 full, otherwise it will slow down one's actions. So this made Su Lin pat it on the head with a paw in the past. It rolled around twice before getting up, howling in grievance. Su Lin didn't explain it, because it was too complicated to understand with Xiaohui's simple IQ. Only through reality and force can it be remembered in my heart. Ah! Su Lin held impatiently, signaling Xiaohui to drag the prey. Although Xiaohui was wronged, she ran over diligently. After all, in its thinking, whatever the boss does is right and has unquestionable authority. Xiaohui is about to break through to level 3, and as a different species, it has a lot of strength. With it helping to drag, Su Linfei didn't have much strength. On the way back, I also met other hunters who smelled blood. This is a pack of Arctic wolves with 1 male and 2 females. On the Arctic continent, the pack of wolves led by the wolf father has 8 adult Arctic wolves, which are considered very strong. Most wolves are scattered in 3 or 4. The strongest male Arctic wolf in the pack of wolves currently blocking the way is only a level 5 attribute. The other 2 females are level 4 and 1 level 3. Su Lin didn't take such strength seriously. As long as they dare to attack, Surin doesn't mind teaching this wolf pack a painful lesson. But obviously, the leading male Arctic wolf also felt that Su Lin was not easy to mess with. Held twice, and after a confrontation, he retreated knowingly. Next, Su Lin and Xiaohui dragged the musk ox carcass back to the cave. When I first arrived near the cave, I saw the wolf father who was patrolling. As the alpha wolf, Father Wolf is very responsible and often patrols the territory. At this moment, Su Lin let go of his prey, and the wolf jumped onto a boulder and howled, signaling that Father Wolf had come back by himself. The Father Wolf who was on patrol heard the howl, and looked over instantly with a pair of green eyes. The boy is back? It has been hanging in the heart, and finally slowly let go. After waking up, he found that there were no Su Lin and Xiaohui in the cave, so he was always worried. After all, in today's Arctic continent, food is scarce, and many hunters eat almost everything. It is worried about the safety of the cub. Of course, besides, Father Wolf is the undisputed leader among wolves. He was also very annoyed at Su Lin and Xiaohui's leaving without permission. The 2 cubs just started not to listen to it. How could it control the whole pack of wolves in the future? Father Wolf felt depressed. Now when it sees the little boy coming back, it is ready to give the little boy a hard lesson. But soon, Father Wolf's keen sense of smell smelled a strong smell of blood. In the middle of the night, the wolf's eyes reflected a faint green light, let it vaguely see that there are large bloodstains on the pristine white fur of its own cub. This made Father Wolf show his fangs. Is this kid hurt? Ah! It roared angrily and ran over quickly. And Su Lin, of course, also saw Father Wolf rushing towards him. Ah! He held at Father Wolf. After running over, Father Wolf came directly to Su Lin, sticking out his tongue and licking Su Lin's hair. Although it doesn't look as good as the wolf mother to Su Lin, but it cares for its own cub in the bottom of its heart. Seeing Su Lin covered in blood and his green wolf eyes, became full of viciousness and murderous intent. Huh? Is this smell wrong? It's not from the brat. Father Wolf's sense of smell is very sensitive, and he can quickly distinguish the smell of blood. Su Lin also howled low at this time, signaling Father Wolf to look behind him. Father Wolf turned his head, and soon saw Xiao Hui still holding his prey. Xiao Hui was still dragging the musk ox with great effort. It's a pity that without Su Lin's help, even if there are shrubs to reduce friction, it could only drag a short distance, so it stuck out its tongue on the spot tiredly, panting. A picture of Xiao Hui with a naive appearance, so Dad Wolf just skipped it after looking at it. The line of sight finally stayed on the dragged carcass of the musk ox. Ah! Father Wolf jumped off the boulder, walked over, sniffed. Some couldn't believe it was a musk ox. Last time the cub hunted a few Arctic rabbits, it could barely accept it. After all, Arctic rabbits are not aggressive. Apart from sensitive hearing and fast speed, there is nothing to pay attention to at all. As long as you have enough experience and patience, you can hunt it. But this is a musk ox. Even a musk ox of this size would not dare to provoke it. If one is accidentally pushed by a bull's horn, it will be considered useless. Therefore, the wolf father who originally wanted to teach the cub a lesson, after seeing the musk ox carcass, he fell silent. Afterwards, he turned his head again, only to realize that the little cub had grown a lot bigger, and his body was already faintly comparable to it. Strength, size, hunting, food. The scene in front of him seemed to be telling silently that this little brat seemed to have surpassed it. If you're enjoying my content, please consider donating a coffee. Or checking out my shirts on TeePublic. Father Wolf helped drag the musk ox carcass back to the cave. During the process, there has been silence. And the sense of smell of the wolves has always been very keen. After smelling the strong smell of blood, the wolves sleeping in the cave all woke up. Ah! Ah! In the cave, the low howls of the wolves sounded one after another. Obvious, looking at the musk ox's body, they were also a little dazed. What's happening here? Could it be that the wolf head went hunting alone? There was some confusion in their wolf eyes. Father Wolf didn't speak, but he didn't let them start eating either. In a pack of wolves, if the head wolf doesn't eat the prey first, the other wolves will not dare to bite. In the end, Father Wolf howled and looked towards the cub Su Lin. Only then did the wolves know that this musk ox was hunted and killed by Surin. They watched Su Lin grow up. It's too fast for this little wolf cub who can't stand still to grow to the present state. This also caused many wolf clans to no longer regard Su Lin as a cub, but as an adult Arctic wolf. Even a tough adult Arctic wolf, the wolves looked at Su Lin with more or less awe. Many female wolves also howled in low voices. He came to Su Lin and helped him lick his blood-stained hair. It even wagged its tail slightly. This is a faint expression of love to Su Lin. Woohoo! After the wolf mother bared her teeth and glared, the group of female wolves left with their tails between their legs in resentment. Among wolves, the status of wolf mother and wolf father is still very high. Fortunately, the wolf mother came to help him out. Otherwise, Su Lin would still be a little confused. Although he had completely accepted the fact that he was reborn as a wolf, he still couldn't accept that he had to cuddle with a group of female wolves. Thinking of that scene, he felt a little chill in his heart. Ah! Ah! The wolf mother came over and howled again and again. Mother wolf means proud of herself. Ah! Su Lin also responded, calling the wolf mother and wolf sister to eat the prey. Wolf girl is still young and doesn't understand anything. Seeing that brother wolf had brought back food, she heartlessly went to the musk ox carcass and ate it. Wolf girl has been 2 months now. The little wolf's teeth grew gradually, and it was able to gnaw some soft parts from the musk ox carcass by itself. In the process of gnawing, I still fell a few feet, but he got up quickly and continued to eat. The cousin is still in the growth stage, and after talking to her mother with a low howl, she came over to eat. As for the rest of the wolf clan, there is no order from the wolf father, the head wolf, no one just watched and didn't move. The strict hierarchy among the wolf clan was revealed for a while. The IQ of wolves is limited, most of them are equivalent to the IQ of 2 or 3-year-old human children. Even the wolf father who leads the wolf pack and has more experience has a higher IQ. With their IQ, they can only obey orders and rules, and it is difficult for them to have the idea of breaking the rules. If he wanted to resist at most, he would challenge Father Wolf. But Father Wolf's strength and toughness are obvious to all wolves. Finally, after waiting for Father Wolf for a long time, but he still couldn't hear the order to eat, the rest of the wolves could only swallow their saliva, then return to their positions and closed their eyes. And the wolf mother came to the wolf father, licked its fur, and silently comforted it. Ah! With a low howl, Su Lin took the initiative to invite Father Wolf to eat. Father Wolf was also silent, and fell asleep without saying anything. This made Su Lin, who had kindly brought the food back to share with everyone, couldn't help but sigh. Among the wolves, many concepts are still too deep-rooted. The strong are respected. Among the wolves, his current strength has already threatened the status of the wolf father. That's why Father Wolf kept silent after seeing the musk ox carcass. Even if it is a child born to Father Wolf, many times, after growing up, you have to go out and set up your own family and build your own wolf pack. Ah! Su Lin howled lowly at Xiao Hui. Xiao Hui, who has already eaten his belly and is about to go to the little gray wolf to sleep on a pillow of wolf meat, after hearing his boss call, he hurriedly ran back to Su Lin's side. Now Father Wolf's sullenness has made Su Lin decide to go out and set up his own family. And Xiao Hui, as a hardcore younger brother, must be brought along. As for the rest of the wolf clan, if Father Wolf allows, Su Lin will bring all the cubs in the cave with him. After all, these cubs are also a burden to the current wolf clan. As the scope of the polar night continues to expand in the Arctic Circle, food will become increasingly scarce. At that time, the living environment of the wolves will become worse day by day. As a cub among wolves, there is no need to say more. Next, time flies, and half a month has passed. During the past half-month, the daylight hours on the Arctic continent have become less and less. In the area where Su Lin is located, the sun can only be seen for 4 or 5 hours a day, and the rest of the time is dark. To the north, places closer to the pole of the North Pole have been completely shrouded in polar night. Extreme night, extreme day, this is a natural phenomenon unique to the Arctic and Antarctic. During this period of time, the wolf pack, the wolf father and the wolf mother went out to hunt 4 or 5 times, but each time the harvest was not satisfactory. The only good harvest was hunting a juvenile sea lion resting on the ice on the shore. However, a juvenile sea lion weighing only 40 to 50 kilograms cannot fill the stomachs of 8 adult Arctic wolves at all. So in the end, I had to be cheeky and share the musk ox hunted by the cubs with a group of cubs. This musk beef weighs 4 to 500 catties. It's hard to finish eating with a group of cubs alone, and Su Lin didn't lead the wolves immediately these days. Just go out with Xiao Hui, first look for a cave with a high safety factor. In addition, during this period of time, also ate about 50 or 60 catties of musk beef, although the quality of musk beef is delicious. The evolutionary value has been greatly reduced. After eating 50 or 60 catties, the obtained evolutionary value has dropped to 0.1. This made him less interested in eating. As for Xiao Hui, he ate more. In order to make Xiao Hui grow faster, Su Lin didn't care about Xiao Hui's appetite. Every day it eats like a wolf, until its belly is round. And Xiao Hui also successfully broke through to level 3. Xiao Hui, a level 3, is 2 or 3 circles bigger than her cousin sister in terms of size, and is almost the same as Wolf Mother. The strength is even stronger than the ordinary level 4 Arctic wolf. I can already help Su Lin a little. During this time, Su Lin also looked at the potions rewarded by the system. Evolution potion, when eating prey, you can get 3 times the evolution value, and the effect lasts for 72 hours. The evolution potion is a newly obtained potion. The effect is also very simple, which is to increase the acquisition of evolutionary value. And it can last for 3 days, which is also a very practical medicine. As for the other potential medicines, needless to say, they can develop the potential of the body. These days, Su Lin took another 5 potential medicines. The fur on his wolf body is smoother, and the bones in his body are also thicker. The internal organs also have a warm feeling, the lung capacity is greater, and the breathing is long. The blood supply of the heart also becomes stronger, and lasts longer in combat and in sports. Now Su Lin maintains a full sprint state of 30 meters per second, and can last for 10 minutes. However, as more medicines were used, the effect became smaller and smaller. After using up 5 potential medicines, there was almost no effect. There are still 5 potential medicines left. Su Lin intends to use the remaining potential potions for Xiaohui, wolf sister and cousin. Now in the cave. Both father and mother wolf were sleeping soundly, recovering their strength. And the musk ox carcass, which originally weighed 400 to 500 catties, was devoured these days, and there was not much left. Su Lin got up, and he came to the side of Xiaohui, who was also sleeping soundly. Now Xiaohui is sleeping soundly on the pillow of Hui Bai Xiaoling, and the mother of the little gray wolf didn't bother with little gray, but also fell asleep beside her. With a thought in his mind, Su Lin injected a potion of potential into Xiaohui's body. Xiaohui, who was sleeping very sweetly and drooling, seemed to have sensed something. The 4 little wolf paws also grabbed the air in the haze, still whining in their mouths. Snapped. This made Su Lin stretch out his wolf claws and slap Xiaohui on the face. Ah! Xiaohui was woken up immediately. It opened its dim sleepy eyes, and saw that standing in front of it was its own boss. It didn't know what happened, and suddenly screamed aggrieved. But Su Lin didn't say anything, and walked towards the wolf girl again. Similarly, a potion of potential was injected into the wolf girl, but the wolf girl obviously still slept soundly in the arms of the wolf mother, and she didn't notice anything at all. In his sleep, the wolf cub stretched out his mouth and burrowed into the mother wolf's arms, as if he was dreaming of breastfeeding when he was just born. Next is the cousin. The cousin also didn't notice it at all, but fell asleep quietly lying in the cave. It can be seen from this that Xiaohui, as a different species, has a very keen perception. Ah! Su Lin howled at Xiaohui, signaling it to stop barking. Xiaohui had no choice but to shut her mouth aggrieved. Although he often doesn't understand the behavior of the boss, he is still very obedient. It was going to continue to sleep on its stomach. But watching the little gray wolf next to him sleep soundly, and it was woken up again by the paw of the boss. I was very angry. Snort. You sleep so sweetly with a little pillow? Xiaohui also slapped the little gray wolf on the head with a paw. Little Hui is now level 3, and his body size is about the same as that of a normal level 4 Arctic wolf. With this paw, the little gray wolf, who was only at level 1, became dizzy. Can't even hell. Looking at the little gray wolf who was awakened by his own paw, and regained some consciousness after a long time delay, it felt a little balanced in its little heart. He continued to sleep with the little gray wolf on his pillow. And the little gray wolf was very confused, not knowing what happened. The next day, Xiaohui, cousin, and wolf sister obviously slept soundly for longer. After waking up, under the signal of Su Lin, the wolf sister and the cousin ate the only remaining musk beef. Xiaohui's fur became brighter, and his limbs, which were originally as thick as a cat's, also became thicker. The changes of wolf sister and cousin sister are not obvious, but the food intake has increased a lot. Ah! Su Lin let out a low howl. Xiaohui immediately followed up. He took Xiaohui out of the cave and went hunting. Generally speaking, potential potions will last for 3 days. Xiaohui is a different species, with great physical potential, and has changed on the first day. Sister Wolf and cousin estimated that it would take 3 days before the potential that was stimulated could be revealed. During this time, exercising and eating more can help you develop more of your potential. Therefore, in this hunt, Su Lin did not contribute much. Xiaohui has always been the main force. Since Xiao Hui was promoted to level 3, her strength as a heterogeneous species has gradually been revealed. Compared with ordinary Arctic wolves, it is stronger in terms of endurance, speed, strength, and resistance to blows. Even the learning ability and IQ are much stronger. Xiao Hui has followed Su Lin out several times, and has mastered some hunting skills through exploration and learning. The two wolves searched for food very quickly. Soon, a nest of lemmings was found in a snowy field not far from the cave. Lemmings are very common animals in the Arctic continent. Oval body shape, short limbs, about the size of a normal mouse. Among the lemmings in this litter, the largest one was no more than 17 or 18 centimeters. The tail is thick and short, the ears are small, and the eyes are shining brightly. Each can't provide much meat. But now that polar night is approaching, food is scarce. Seeing a litter of dozens of lemmings, it would be a lot of rations to hunt them down. After being affirmed by Sulin, Xiao Hui hid her figure in the bushes and approached the nest of lemmings. Su Lin also glanced lightly at the lemming's value. Species, lemming, male. Level 1. Vitality, 125. Stamina, 12. Strength, 11. Defense, 9. Speed, 16. This is the strongest of the litter of lemmings. But only one level. Many lemmings are only level 0. The lemming is also a mammal, but it has a super reproductive ability. Therefore, when food is scarce, many hunters will also put lemmings into their diet. Even the polar bear, the strongest overlord of the Arctic continent, also hunts lemmings. Lemmings are weak. As long as ordinary hunters find them, they will be able to hunt and kill a few of them. Now, Xiao Hui approached them and started a massacre. Xiao Hui's current speed is close to 40, far exceeding the speed of the lemming. It swooped quickly. The forelegs also showed sharp wolf claws in the swoop. It took the lead in attacking the largest one among the lemmings, and slapped it to death on the spot. Next, Wolf's Claw is like a death scythe that reaps lemmings. Slapping and culling at a very fast speed, killed 7 or 8 lemmings in the hands of Xiao Hui in just half a minute. There were also 2 that were eaten by Xiao Hui. The remaining 40 or 50 lemmings began to scatter and flee. Lemmings, an animal with an extremely large number, rely on the number to continue the survival of the race. Xiao Hui began to chase and kill the fleeing lemmings by relying on her own speed. A fierce chase lasted for 10 minutes. The farthest distance Xiao Hui chased was 3 kilometers away. Finally, with blood still on the corner of Xiao Hui's mouth, he came back with 2 or 3 lemmings in his mouth. Ah! Xiao Hui howled excitedly at Sulin. This is the first time it has hunted, and it has found food. Even if it's just a lemming, it's very happy. While howling, he also asked his boss to eat. In Xiao Huiyan's eyes, no matter whether the boss hunted the food or not, the boss has the first right to enjoy it. Of course, in the hunt, the lemmings it eats don't count. Su Lin walked over, looked at the corpses of a dozen lemmings on the messy snow and ice, and patted Xiao Hui's head with his paw. This time there was no force, it was a stroking. Xiao Hui's IQ far exceeds that of ordinary wolves, and it also makes it feel more happy to touch the boss. Ah! Excited howling. Surin devoured several lemmings and gained some evolution points. Ding! The host eats lemmings and gains 1.2 evolutionary points. Ding! The host eats lemmings and gains 1 point of evolution. Ding! The host eats lemmings and gains 0.8 evolution points. After eating a few lemmings, the evolutionary value was quickly reduced to 0.1. Ah! Su Lin let out a low howl. Signal to Xiao Hui to eat the remaining lemmings. Although the meat quality of lemmings is not bad, it cannot compare with the tender and smooth meat quality of large herbivores. Without the acquisition of evolutionary value, Surin is too lazy to eat. Xiao Hui screamed and ate the remaining lemmings, and ate a few more. The rest got behind a stone, through a small hole in the ice and snow with their paws, and buried them in it. Ah! Xiaohui howled again and again. Now it can barely express some complicated communication. After some howling, Su Lin also understood Xiaohui's meaning. I plan to keep a few of them and bring them back to the wolf sister, cousin, and little gray wolf who stayed behind in the cave. Ah. Su Lin affirmed Xiaohui's idea of considering other members. Having been affirmed by her boss, Xiaohui jumped up and down excitedly, shaking her head in a naive manner. Next, Surin continued to search for food with Xiaohui. In the area where they are currently, the daylight hours are getting shorter and shorter. Not long after he came out, the sky darkened. During this period, Surin and Xiaohui found another Arctic reindeer eating moss alone. The Arctic reindeer herd is only 6 or 7 kilometers away, and they are about to migrate. This Arctic reindeer dares to come out to look for food alone, which represents its strong self-confidence. This is an adult Arctic reindeer. The strength is very good, and the running speed is also very fast. Even if the Arctic wolves want to hunt this kind of adult Arctic reindeer, they have to rely on teamwork to block and intercept. And Xiaohui has not yet reached the speed of 40, and has not been noticed by the adult male Arctic reindeer. Therefore, after Xiaohui went hunting, the Arctic reindeer ran for a while, then continued to eat moss on the spot, waiting for Xiaohui to chase. This scene seems to be playing with Xiaohui. After Xiaohui chased after him again, the Arctic reindeer kicked Xiaohui's hoof so hard that it bared its teeth in pain. Seeing this scene, Su Lin finally moved. He bared a pair of fangs. Those wolf eyes, reflecting the faint green light, are very like the of death, who summons the souls of the dead in the dark night. Ah! A loud and long wolf howl echoed over the Arctic continent. The howling of wolves pierced the air, the cold and the darkness. This made the Arctic reindeer, who didn't take Xiaohui seriously, instantly alert. It raised its head and looked around hurriedly. The eyes of Arctic caribou, like wolves, can also see through the dark. So it quickly noticed, not far from Surin. It was a very large adult Arctic wolf, standing proudly on the snowy slope. Su Lin didn't hide his body shape at all this time, he just stood directly on the snow slope, staring at the Arctic reindeer with a pair of faint green wolf eyes. There was a chill in his eyes. The hair that had gradually shed the blood returned to its original white and flawless color. With a thought, the numerical attributes of this Arctic reindeer appeared in front of his eyes. Species, Arctic reindeer. Level 7. Vitality, 1060. Stamina, 76. Strength, 55. Defense, 43. Speed, 61. The value of this Arctic reindeer is very high, even higher than the value of the reindeer carcass eaten some time ago. But this kind of strength is not too difficult in Su Lin's eyes now. Although they also have sharp antlers, Arctic caribou are different from musk oxen. Except for higher blood and stamina, everything else is mediocre. Nor is it as courageous as a musk ox, daring to fight hunters endlessly. At the same level, musk oxen are much more difficult to hunt than Arctic caribou. Because even herbivores, as long as they dare to work hard, many hunters will be discouraged. At this time, the Arctic reindeer stared behind him after seeing the proudly standing white wolf. The innate sixth sense of animals sends out danger signals to it. The Arctic reindeer did not hesitate, and began to run towards the herd not far away. As long as he ran among the deer, no matter how strong the white wolf was, he would return in vain. Unless it has the invincible strength of a whole Arctic reindeer herd that dares to challenge alone. The Arctic reindeer ran fast. It looked back, the white wolf on the snow slope. He found that the white wolf was also running towards him, and the speed of the white wolf was even faster, so fast that it looked like a white lightning bolt. The Arctic reindeer just feel as if the Grim Reaper is coming. It is sure that it has never encountered such a fast wolf family in the North Pole for such a long time. Such a speed, is it still a wolf clan? It's a snow leopard. The Arctic reindeer ran crazily, but it still heard the screaming sound caused by the air friction behind it. Near, very close. Arctic reindeer can even hear the sound of wolves running on snow. Yo! The reindeer sped up again, but within a few seconds, he still felt a white shadow coming to his side, and then the wolf claws slapped his neck fiercely. The Arctic reindeer tried desperately to dodge, but couldn't dodge at all. And baying relied on his extremely fast speed, and the attack force he brought was not something he could bear. It was hit on the neck with heavy force, and the body lost its balance in a fast run. After rolling for more than 10 meters, finally stopped. The body of the Arctic reindeer, the bones are not so flexible. After rolling several times in succession, it has suffered multiple injuries to its internal organs and bones. It crawled and struggled on the ground, but couldn't get up at all. And the Arctic reindeer herd is not far away. But it knows it can never go back. Yo! The sad deer cry sounded in the night. And Sulin walked slowly towards the Arctic reindeer, who was still very confident at the beginning, without wasting time, and directly gave it a good time. The sharp fangs pierced the throat of the Arctic reindeer, sucking the precious blood of the Arctic reindeer. When the Arctic reindeer was about to struggle, it directly bit off its throat. It didn't take long for the Arctic reindeer's eyes to turn gray. Xiao Hui ran over panting. It has long been familiar with the boss's divine power. The prey that he can't deal with even with all his efforts, is the lamb waiting to be slaughtered with the boss. Ah! Sulin let out a low howl, and signaled Xiao Hui to go find the bushes and drag the Arctic reindeer back. Xiao Hui immediately obediently went around looking for bushes. The weight of Arctic reindeer is much different from that of musk ox, and this one only weighs about 200 kgs. So after finding the shrub, Xiao Hui consciously dragged the carcass of the Arctic reindeer up. This time Surin did not allow the Arctic reindeer to be dragged back to the cave where the wolf father and mother wolf lived, but was going to bring it back to the cave he had found. This is to prevent Father Wolf from being provoked again. Now Father Wolf's majesty as the alpha wolf is already very weak in front of him. Can't stimulate it anymore. The newly found cave is on a high mountain. The road to the cave is a bit steep, and it is difficult for ordinary hunters to climb up. It seemed a little difficult for Xiao Hui to climb up by himself, let alone dragging the Arctic reindeer. Therefore, in the end it was Surin who struggled to drag the carcass of the Arctic reindeer up. Now that the Arctic cold season and polar night are coming, many animals have migrated away. Prey became scarcer. It is still necessary to store some food in the cave in advance. The temperature in the Arctic is below -10 degrees all the year round. In the cold season, the temperature will drop to -20 or 30 degrees. Such a temperature is equivalent to a natural freezer, and the food will not deteriorate due to the storage time. After entering the new cave, Su Lin first continued to a few mouthfuls of deer blood from the carcass of the Arctic reindeer. Deer blood is a very valuable medicinal material. Has many curative effects. And Su Lin, who is a wolf clan, also feels that deer blood is sweet and delicious, with endless aftertaste. It is much better than many big-name drinks in the previous life. Of course, it is also related to the different taste buds of the wolves. He had never hunted fresh reindeer before, so this was the first time he had had deer blood. I drank it to my heart's content, then, with a low howl, it signaled Xiao Hui to eat. Xiao Hui, who was watching the wind at the entrance of the cave, ran over excitedly. It gnawed at the flesh of the Arctic reindeer. And Su Lin came to the entrance of the cave, looking down at the vast night of the Arctic continent. The location of this cave is very good. Condescending, can overlook a long distance. Moreover, the road to the cave is a bit steep and has a high safety factor. The cave is also very spacious. It is several times bigger than the cave where the wolf parents and wolf mothers live. Even if there are dozens of wolves living together, it is more than enough. Therefore, Su Lin decided that this would be the cave where he would live in the future. I went out and inspected around the cave. After finding nothing special, he came back again. At this time, Xiao Hui was already full. But this time it obviously only ate 3 or 4 caddies of venison, and it was about 80% full, so it didn't eat any more. Ah! Xiao Hui held twice, still thinking about the little lemmings he had buried, and planned to bring them back to give Wolf Girl a taste of them. Ah! After Su Lin responded, he brought Xiao Hui down the mountain. Go to the original cave. Su Lin and Xiao Hui went back very quickly. On the way, a few lemmings buried by Xiao Hui were naturally dug out. There are about 7 or 8, Xiao Hui took 4 or 5 of them by himself, and Su Lin brought the rest back to the cave. As soon as I returned to the cave, I found that the wolf father and mother wolf who had gone out to hunt had also returned. But in the cave, morale was mediocre. It can be seen that there must be some results from this hunting trip, but there should not be any big gains. After Su Lin came back, the wolf father, who was the chief wolf, became visibly nervous. A pair of wolf eyes looked at Su Lin and Xiao Hui. Fortunately, this time, the 2 cubs just came back with a few lemmings. This allowed Father Wolf's dignity as the chief wolf to finally be preserved. Otherwise, it takes a pack of wolves out to hunt every day. The final harvest is not as good as 2 little cubs who watched them grow up. This makes it really unacceptable. And it will also greatly damage its prestige among wolves. At this time, seeing that Su Lin and Xiao Hui had nothing to gain, Father Wolf flaunted the dead body of an adult Arctic rabbit, picked it up and threw it in front of them. This was specially reserved for the 2 of them by Father Wolf. It's just that the carcass of this Arctic rabbit weighed only about 10 catties, and with his usual appetite, Xiao Hui could finish it all by himself. Not to mention Surin, who has a bigger appetite. Therefore, the little gray wolf shook its head slightly, looking down on the dead Arctic hare. But Father Wolf's remaining prestige is still quite sufficient, and Xiao Hui didn't express any dissatisfaction. He just stood beside his boss, without making a sound. Su Lin howled to Father Wolf to express his joy. Mother Wolf came over and licked Su Lin affectionately. Now Mother Wolf has already noticed the delicate relationship between her husband and her children. But among the wolves, strength is the most respected. Most of the time, she has no choice. Who would have thought that his child would grow up so fast, and his strength was comparable to or even surpassed by the strongest of the wolves? But Mother Wolf still hopes to live in harmony. Su Lin responded to the intimacy of the wolf mother. The wolf father left the Arctic rabbit's body behind, and then quietly resumed his aloof style as a wolf. It returned to its original position and began to sleep. On this day, the large prey encountered are all in groups, and many prey have migrated to other places. Therefore, we can only hunt and kill a group of Arctic rabbits with great effort. Arctic rabbits have keen hearing and fast running speed. Each wolf in the wolf pack consumed a lot of energy before hunting and killing 7 of them. The 8 adult wolves ate 5 of them, and the remaining one was given to the wolf sister, cousin and little gray wolf. The remaining one was specially reserved by Father Wolf for Su Lin and the others. After expending a lot of energy, it fell asleep not long after laying down to sleep. Xiao Hui has also given the lemming in its mouth to sister wolf, cousin and little gray wolf. As cubs, they hardly ever left the cave. Naturally, I have never eaten lemmings. It feels very curious and fresh. In the end, it was Xiao Hui who disemboweled the lemming and threw it to Wolf's sister and cousin, and they started to eat it. After little Hui held to Su Lin, he also lost 2 to little gray wolf. Although Xiao Hui often bullies the little gray wolf, but in his heart he still cares about this wolf sleeping pillow. Su Lin soon came to a few cubs, give them both the lemming and Arctic hare carcasses. Wolf's sister and cousin, although after waking up, they ate the only remaining musk beef, and even shared some Arctic rabbit meat. But under the action of potential medicine, the appetite is really great, and the digestion power is also very fast. In just over half a day, I felt my stomach was empty again. Wolf Girl is still young, heartless. Seeing that Brother Wolf gave up the food to himself, he cheered and started to eat. As for the cousin and the little gray wolf, they ate a few lemmings, and after trying something new, they stopped eating. Time passed, and a few more days passed. Under the circumstances that Su Lin gave a few cubs a small fire from time to time, the wolf sister and cousin who had taken the potential potion finally had a lot of changes. The cousin's body is a whole circle bigger than before, and her level has also broken through to level 3. The hair is softer and smoother, and the ears have become a bit pointy. After testing, the cousin's ability to develop is listening. The hearing is much sharper than that of ordinary wolves. And the wolf girl has finally reached level 1, the little wolf's fangs and claws have become sharper. There is no more effort in chewing food, nothing else has changed. But Xiao Hui's improvement is comprehensive, and his body size is a little bigger than before. Started to move towards the strength of level 4, and the ability to resist attacks has become stronger. The most obvious is the limbs, which are very thick and strong. Jumping and flapping power are far superior to Arctic wolves of the same level. And Surin's evolutionary value is also slowly increasing these days. Although eating repeated prey, the evolutionary value obtained is greatly reduced. But it's better than nothing. Eating some can also increase the evolution value by 3 or 4 points. The current evolution value has more than 80 points. It was another step forward to be promoted to level 6. Surin also used the remaining 2 potions of potential for Wolf Father and Mother Wolf. It is clear, since the Wolf Father and Wolf Mother have already grown up, their physique and bones have already been fixed, the effects of potential potions are negligible. It just makes the fur of Wolf Father and Mother Wolf look softer and shiny. It also made their numerical values slightly improved. Potential potion is used up. As for the evolution potion, Surin planned to use it after hunting new prey. After all, the evolution potion can increase the obtained evolution value by 3 times. It must be used to eat new prey, better. Next, Su Lin also had a showdown with Wolf Father and Mother Wolf. He is going to take Xiao Hui and go out to build a new pack of wolves. As for Sister Wolf, Cousin and Little Grey Wolf, if the Wolf Father and Wolf Mother don't worry, they can take it away by themselves. After the showdown, Father Wolf was silent for a whole day. And the Wolf Mother repeatedly licked Su Lin intimately, trying to make Su Lin stay. Su Lin was also reluctant to care for his Wolf Mother and Wolf Father. Although Father Wolf looks very strict and doesn't like to communicate with the cubs, he cares about them very much in his heart. But as his strength became stronger and stronger, his prestige among the wolves would definitely be affected more and more seriously. So Surin decided to leave the wolves now, in case there is really an incomprehensible gap between Father Wolf and himself in the future. What's more, the cave he chose is only about 20 kilometers away from the Wolf Father and Mother Wolf. If something happens, you can also quickly take care of Wolf Father and Mother Wolf. Finally, after being silent for a day, Father Wolf agreed with a low howl. And also picked up the wolf sister, the Little Grey Wolf and the cousin, and howled a few times to signal the 3 cubs, and they will follow Su Lin from now on. In her heart, Wolf Girl has always been very dependent on Brother Wolf. When she heard Father Wolf's order, she howled heartlessly and happily. The cousin and the Little Grey Wolf also have no objection to following Su Lin. After all, Su Lin has long been the boss of a group of youngsters. It's just that I feel a little bit reluctant to leave the cave where I lived for a long time, and also leave my biological mother. Grey Wolf's mother and cousin's mother licked their cub for a long time, wanting to remember the smell of the cub forever. Cousin has been born for a year. During this period of time, with the help of potential potions and sufficient food, he also broke through to level 3. Her ability to bear was much better, but after cuddling with her mother for a while, she followed behind Su Lin. But the Little Grey Wolf cuddled up for a long time. In the end, it was Xiao Hui who howled twice impatiently, and finally called the Little Grey Wolf over. That's all. A group of 5 wolf cubs with an average birth age of less than half a year left the cave. Go to the vast Arctic continent and start a new venture. Ah! Along the way, Xiao Hui was very excited. Finally going to a new cave and start a new life. There is also a whole Arctic reindeer stored in the cave. Thinking of the delicious venison, Xiao Hui salivated in disappointment. But the wolf sister, the cousin, and the Little Grey Wolf came out of the cave for the first time, and they were all very novel about everything outside. The wolf girl was bouncing around, playing in the snow, and biting the shrubs and grass along the road. In a pair of wolf eyes, he was curious about everything. Seeing a bush, I tried to climb it, but fell several times. Under Su Lin's low howling call, he followed up with the large army. Gray and White Wolf and Cousin, although they are also very novel. But they still followed Su Lin closely, and didn't run around carelessly like the Wolf Girl. After the Wolf Girl came back, the Cousin howled twice, signaling the Wolf Girl to be careful. After all, in the icy and snowy wilderness, there may be danger hidden anywhere. Still closely following Su Lin, with a sense of security. Next, when the sky is completely dark. Su Lin also brought them to the new cave. A new cave, the road is rugged and steep. Xiaohui can barely climb up by herself. The Cousin spent a lot of effort, and she just climbed up for a certain distance, and she was exhausted. As for the Wolf Girl and the little gray wolf, they could only look at the road and held. In the end, Surin brought them up one by one. The new cave is very spacious. Come to the cave. The Cousin, the wolf sister, and the little gray wolf are all familiar with the new environment. Surin signaled to Xiaohui to drag the carcass of the Arctic reindeer. The carcass of an Arctic reindeer, stored in a cave for several days, has been frozen to death. The skin is also covered with a thin layer of frost. But the wolves are not so particular. As long as it is food, they can swallow it. It is still the old rules that Su Lin set for them before. Sister Wolf and Cousin ate first, while Little Hui and Little Gray Wolf ran to the door to watch the wind. Cousin is now level 3, and it is not a problem to tear off the flesh and blood from the frozen reindeer carcass. It's just that the wolf sister took a lot of effort to bite off a small piece of flesh from the carcass of the reindeer. Ah! This made her howl to Brother Wolf for help. At the same time, the Wolf Girl was also being wronged, feeling that she was very incompetent, even to eat. I have to bother myself, Brother Wolf. After seeing Brother Wolf coming to help him tear off a large piece of flesh from the Arctic reindeer carcass, the Wolf Girl licked Brother Wolf's hair, expressing her gratitude and joy. But because he is too short, he can only lick the hair of Brother Wolf's front paws. Ah! After Su Lin helped the Wolf Girl tear off a large piece of flesh, he motioned for it to eat quickly. In addition, he also took 2 bites. It is found that the meat of the Arctic reindeer is not as smooth as when it was just hunted. But because of the freezing, it also has a different taste. The cold entrance brings out the Arctic reindeer is still very fresh, retaining the light sweetness of the meat. Tasty. As expected of venison. Venison is a good food no matter in nature or human society, but Su Lin only took a few mouthfuls and stopped eating. With only sporadic evolution points obtained, Surin didn't have much interest and appetite to eat. After Wolf Sister and Cousin were full, Su Lin let out a low howl. Little Hui and Little Gray Wolf immediately trotted over to eat. Now the Little Gray Wolf is not much stronger than the Wolf Sister, and he can't tear the flesh off the reindeer. Fortunately, the Wolf Girl didn't finish eating the large piece of flesh and blood that Su Lin had just bitten off. After howling twice, seeing that Su Lin didn't refuse, he happily ate. The meat of large herbivores such as Arctic reindeer is rarely eaten by gray and white coyotes. But in the last 2 months, I was able to eat it only after following boss Su Lin. This gave it some comfort in its heart after leaving the original wolves and its mother. Ah! On the other hand, Xiaohui wolfed it down and held happily at the little gray and white wolf. It expresses that only by following the boss closely can we eat such delicious food. Thank you for watching Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share and subscribe. Have a great day.